Hello, I'm Dr. Mark Peace from the International Foundation Programme at the University of Reading, and one of my roles is as the chair of the editorial board for InForm, and so I'm going to tell you today about InForm. I'm videoing these slides that I've got on my computer screen so that I can take you through this presentation. I'll talk about what InForm is, the objectives of InForm, a bit of history, the community, so who reads InForm, then a bit more detail on the journal and the conference, and then how InForm is run, so the role of the editorial board and also the chair of the editorial board, and then finish on what's next for InForm. First of all, what InForm is. So it is, first and foremost, it's an academic journal, and I've got here the latest issue, issue 15, which was published December 2015. If you a quick look, I think maybe we'll look at this online a bit later. It's also, InForm is a conference. We have an annual conference, the InForm conference, and this has become a major part of InForm. There's the website also, and I think let's just have a quick look at the website and see what you can find on the website. Getting this up, this is the home page. Read a little bit about what InForm is. There's a YouTube video saying again what people gain from InForm and the purpose of InForm. We'll watch that a little bit later, but the website is where the resources are kept, so people can download past issues, for instance, and also conference slides. They can also subscribe to InForm, so if people want to come and make sure that they receive copies of the latest issues of InForm, they can subscribe, and we also give them send updates to them, things like about the forthcoming conferences, this kind of thing. Just have a look at the downloads. Here people can just click on these and download the previous issues in PDF format. InForm conference, details about forthcoming conferences, but also the slides from previous conferences, so people can see what the presentations are and also have a look at the slides if they're interested in them. So it's quite a useful resource, I think, the website, and it should certainly be used. There's lots of good information, and certainly with InForm we've got now, it's been going for a while and there's years of really excellent articles, I think, and it's good if people can make use of those. Okay, so the objectives of InForm. Really, it recognises the unique challenges and expertise in IFP. So InForm is all about international foundation programmes and what people are doing on those programmes. So it's looking at teaching techniques, research which people are doing and want to share with other professionals which are involved in foundation programmes. And this provides a forum for that, for sharing the research and the experience that people gain. Mm-hmm. I'd just like to read to you the initial opening statement from the first issue, the editorial from Anthony Manning, who was the person that set up InForm. And he says, "This journal has been launched with a view to providing a forum for the discussion of IFP-related teaching and learning issues, which recognises the breadth of the IFP curriculum and extends beyond the boundaries of English language teaching." So there he's emphasising that InForm is concerned not just with English language teaching, but really looking at all aspects of international foundation programmes, which involves subject teaching and also support of international students, preparing them for progressing on to undergraduate programmes. So what are you likely to read about? What are the kind of articles that we get in InForm and also the talks at the conference? Supporting subject-specific language needs. We also have academic skills, technology-enhanced learning, increasingly as people incorporate more technology in their classes. Use of corpus analysis occurs quite a lot. There's also case studies of teaching activities as tutors sort of experiment and develop different innovative teaching activities. It's good that InForm provides a forum for them to share their findings, how these teaching activities are being received by the students, how it's been working, whether they're achieving their objectives. And supporting international students with disabilities. The history of InForm. The first issue was published back in 2008, and really InForm came about through the efforts of Anthony Manning, who's the first chair of the editorial board. I think it was really his idea. And the first conference was in July 2010, and this is now an annual conference, and we've just had the 7th conference in Durham. The people that read InForm and contribute to InForm come from many different universities and centres. We've got 136 subscribers from different universities, from 47 universities and centres, and also 43 members of staff across the university in different departments, as well as on the International Foundation Programme, subscribe and receive InForm Journal. And we mail out hard copies to subscribers free of charge, courtesy of the university. And also subscribers receive emails about calls for papers, conference announcements and general information. The journal, it's published annually in December. I've shown you issue 15, which is the latest issue. It looks a little bit different actually to earlier issues. I'll just quickly show you. So this is the previous design of InForm, which, although the colour changed each year, we had the globe and this kind of design right since the beginning for the first 14 issues. And so now it's been updated a bit, looks a bit different. I'll get up the latest sort of look. It's influenced a bit by the theme. When we have an issue of InForm which is produced after a conference, then that issue takes on the theme of the conference. Now, because it's annual, really we've changed it to being annual. It was twice a year. Now each edition is going to take on the theme of the conference, although we will still accept papers which don't quite match to the theme. So the next issue will be in December of this year, and each issue features around 8 articles. We have a letter section for less formal kind of commentaries and comments about aspects of International Foundation programs that people want to share, but perhaps they don't want to reference and go into too much detail in those. And we invite papers that are between 1,000 and 1,200 words long. We would not really accept papers that were longer than 1,500 words. And I'm particularly keen to have authors include lots of images. We've moved to being full colour from just 2-tone colour, so we can accept images with lots of colour, and this is great for charts and data presented in figures. So really, if people are presenting research, then it's great if they can actually show that data in figures, and also some pictures maybe of students working on some of their projects, and these sorts of things would be good. I'd encourage that. Moving on to the conference. So I said that the most recent conference was at Durham University. It's an annual event and it happens in July. We have on average around 10 to 17 speakers, which includes 2 keynote speakers, and sessions are about 40 minutes. An important part of the conference is giving enough time for people to mingle, to network, and to kind of share their experiences with each other. And the questions part is important at the end of someone's talk, and so we try and allow plenty of time for people to have a bit of a discussion at the end of talks. Where the conference is held, we generally now try and alternate between Reading and a guest host, so that the conference isn't just hosted here in Reading or in the south of England. So being in Durham was great because that sort of gave more of an opportunity for a lot of the universities in the north of England to come and take part in the conference fairly easily, and so we had a whole different set of people coming to that conference compared to when we hold the conference in Reading, and it's more accessible to people in the south of England. Moving on, well, I should say the conference is a one-day conference, and there's a fee of £60, which just covers sort of venue hire and catering costs and things, and any profits go towards the publication costs of the journal. And there are themes. So I now want to talk a bit about the themes, because this gives you again an idea of the kind of topics that people are discussing in InForm and what interests people. So we've had 7 conferences so far, starting from 2010. The first theme was called The Challenges Ahead. The second theme, Internationalisation, How Far Can It Go? The third, is teaching and learning enough? Can additional elements aid the transition from a foundation programme to university study? And I think you'll see these early conferences, they're quite general themes. The fourth conference, What do IFP students need? Balancing linguistic and content teaching, how much and when? And then we move into a more specific focus in the themes for the conference. So the fifth conference, assessment as a tool for learning on the IFP. So now we're looking at a specific area of teaching, so that being assessment. In the sixth conference, technology enhanced learning on the IFP, focusing on technology. And then the most recent conference, working with words, supporting understanding of discipline specific vocabulary in IFPs. Again, a relatively specific kind of focus to that. And I think that's quite good in the conferences. We've had sort of the general conferences, but now it's quite nice to focus on a particular area of international foundation programs. I just want to show you that video that you can see online, and we'll just have a look at it here. This is taken from the 2013 conference, and there's some comments there from people which give you a bit more information about InForm.
I mean, InForm was conceived with the view to bring language teaching professionals and content teachers together, and that's what the focus of this particular conference is about.
It's good to find out what colleagues at other universities are doing, what new ideas there are coming out, what they've tried and what worked and what didn't work.
I think there's a lot that people can gain from the InForm conference, not just the conference, but actually just from being part of the active community. It's a fantastic forum for people who are involved, even in a small part of the foundation programs.
It's important for people to compare what they're doing and think about what other universities are doing, to look at different models and share best practice and bring that back to their own universities and try to build on what they're already doing.
And that's really what it's all about. So that's the plus point to finish just on time. Thank you.
So there you've heard more of what InForm is all about. And I'd just like to say now a bit about how it's run. So we have the editorial board, and the board reviews articles, and we get together and then we decide the papers to include in the journal after discussion, and also make decisions on when deciding on what talks to include in the conference, but as well other decisions like the conference theme, the kind of format issues with the journal and the design of the journal, any sort of big changes that take place for InForm, it goes through the editorial board. The editorial board is made up of University of Reading staff, and it's done as an extra to their job description. However, the chair of the editorial board, which is currently me, is part of my job description, so the university allocates time for me to do this. I have other roles as well, but it's good. It enables me to spend time communicating with the subscribers, so sending out calls for papers, conference announcements, answering queries, and also what takes quite a bit of time, organising the InForm conference. So there's quite a lot there to be done in organising conference, and also supporting the authors, so helping them to send through the articles in the way that's needed, and making sure that everything is together, so that when we're putting the journal together, the designers have everything they need, and making sure it all comes together to produce the journal and also for the conferences. There's maintaining and updating the mailing list, the subscriber details, and also the website. What's next for InForm? We've got the next issue of the journal is coming out in December, and the call is out at the moment for papers, and the deadline for that is the 31st of October. Also encouraging speakers from the last conference to submit articles on their talks. Then there's thinking of the theme for the next conference in July 2017. Possibility of introducing perhaps some social media, so Twitter or Facebook, so that people can chat about the issues which are covered in InForm, so that it's not just the conference and the journal where people communicate. We did have a chat room opened, but people tended not to use it, so but maybe now, if people are more used to using social media like Twitter or Facebook, we might be able to generate more chat using one of those applications. Further ahead, there's reviewing InForm, making sure that it's relevant, or as relevant as it can be, and also that the university putting resources into InForm, that there's some payoff for that it's doing what the university wants. So it's a bit of review of InForm, I think, is a good thing to check that that we're going in the right direction with it. So thank you for watching this presentation. I hope you've learned about InForm. Obviously you can look at the website as well, and if you would like to subscribe, then please do, and we can then make sure that you get the latest issues of InForm. And look out for the next conference in 2017. So thanks for listening, and goodbye.